Today is a beautiful, sunny day outside, but honestly, things are incredibly dark and stormy in the world of our favorite daytime drama. We have a massive, emotionally exhausting situation to unpack today, and I am still just sitting here trying to process what I just watched unfold. So grab a huge cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's just dive right into the absolute madness. And I really do mean madness, because what we just witnessed in the Cliff House living room is probably one of the most intense, heartbreaking, and frankly infuriating scenes we have had on this show in a very long time. I am still shaking my head. I have been covering this storyline for months, and we all knew this collision was coming. We all knew Finn was going to push the boundary, but to see it actually happen, to see how he did it, it was a lot to take in. So let's set the scene. You guys know the Cliff House. It's supposed to be this sanctuary for Steffy and Finn, a place where they rebuilt their lives. But today, it turned into an absolute emotional war zone. Finn literally dropped to his knees right in the middle of the living room. Yes, his knees. Like he was proposing all over again, but instead of asking for her hand in marriage, he was asking for something that could actually destroy their marriage entirely. He grabbed Steffy's hands, holding on to her for dear life, and he begged her. He flat out begged her to let Sheila see Hayes. Just once, just one time, under strict supervision. Honestly, I almost threw my remote at the television screen. What is he thinking? What is actually going through John Finnegan's head right now? He is a brilliant doctor, but when it comes to his biological mother, he loses every single ounce of common sense he possesses. He is on his knees, looking up at his wife, the woman who was literally gunned down by the exact person he is advocating for, and he is asking for a favor for a psychopath. But it gets worse. It's not just the request that is so messed up. It is how he framed it. Finn actually tried to use their love to convince her. He looked Steffy in the eyes and basically said that if she truly loves him, she will show grace. He told her that her forgiveness, her willingness to bend this one boundary, would help him erase the massive psychological burden he carries about his birth mother. Okay, let's just pause right there. Let's really unpack that. Because to me, and I know the fans on social media are already screaming about this, that is emotional blackmail. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe Finn truly doesn't realize how manipulative he sounds. He's hurting. He's confused. He has this deep, unexplainable biological pull to the woman who gave birth to him, a void he has felt his whole life. I get that. I really do try to have sympathy for adopted children who want to know their roots, but this isn't a normal situation. This isn't a normal birth mother. This is Sheila Carter. And Finn is placing the entire burden of his psychological healing squarely on Steffy's shoulders. He is basically saying, hey, I know this woman shot you and left you for dead in a filthy alley, and I know she shot me too, but I need you to just get over it so I can feel better about myself. That is so unfair. It is wildly, unbelievably unfair to ask a trauma survivor to use her grace to heal the trauma of the person who loves the abuser. Steffy's reaction was exactly what you would expect. And, honestly, Jacqueline McInnes would play this beautifully. You could literally see the color drain from her face. You could see the exact moment her heart broke into a million pieces. She felt deeply, profoundly betrayed, and she has every right to feel that way. She is looking down at the man she loves most in this world, the father of her child, the man she fought to get back after thinking he was dead, and he is defending her attempted murderer. Her PTSD flared up instantly, and how could it not? The writers have been leaning heavily into Steffy's trauma lately, and this was the breaking point. When Finn talks about Sheila, Steffy doesn't see a misunderstood woman who just wants to hold her grandson. Steffy hears the gunshot. She smells the blood in that alley behind El Giardino. She remembers waking up in a hospital bed hooked up to machines, being told her husband was dead. She remembers the sheer, blinding terror of knowing Sheila was out there. And now, the husband she mourned is on his knees in their living room, holding her hands, asking her to bring that monster into their home. To let that monster near their toddler, it's sickening. It really is. Steffy was physically recoiling from him. The betrayal wasn't just about the request. It was the realization that Finn is prioritizing his fantasy of a reformed mother over the very real, very documented safety and mental health of his wife. So why is Finn doing this right now? Why push this boundary today? Well, we know exactly why. It's because Sheila just played her ultimate trump card. A few episodes ago, we saw Sheila sign those divorce papers, officially ending her marriage to Deacon Sharp. She did it to prove she has changed. She did it to show that she is willing to sacrifice her own happiness to prove she isn't a threat to Taylor or the family. And Finn fell for it. He fell for it hook, line, and sinker. He actually believes that because Sheila signed a piece of paper, she is suddenly a safe person to be around a toddler. He thinks this grand gesture means she is reformed. But let's be real here. Who actually believes this is going to end well? Sheila is a master manipulator. She knows exactly what buttons to push with Finn. She knows he wants to see the good in people. She knows he has a savior complex. She played the victim, showed him the signed papers, and sent him right back to the Cliff House to do her dirty work. Steffy is not stupid. She sees right through it. She warned Taylor that Sheila signing those papers was a manipulation tactic, and now she is watching that exact tactic work perfectly on her own husband. The frustration Steffy must be feeling right now has to be suffocating. She has set this boundary 100 times. She has screamed it until her throat is raw. No Sheila. Never Sheila. And yet, here is Finn bringing her right back into their living room. So Steffy did the only thing she could do. She dropped a massive, relationship-shattering ultimatum. She looked Finn dead in the eye and told him that if he ever mentions Sheila's name again, she is packing up the kids and leaving Los Angeles immediately. Boom. Just like that. The bags are mentally packed, and you know what? I don't blame her for a single second. Some fans might say she is overreacting, that she should just hear him out. But no, absolutely not. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Sheila is a killer. And if Finn cannot guarantee the safety of their home, Steffy has to do it herself. She has Kelly to think about. She has Hayes to think about. She cannot live in a house where the front door might be open to a psychopath just because her husband feels a little guilty. Steffy's threat to leave LA is real. She has fled town before when things got too heavy. Remember when she took the kids to Europe because she couldn't handle the Sheila drama? She will do it again. She is a mother bear protecting her cubs, and Finn is standing in the way holding a jar of honey for the predator. This puts the SINN marriage on the absolute brink of total collapse. I have been rooting for Steffy and Finn for years. They were supposed to be the stable couple. They were supposed to be the epic romance that survived death itself. But this might be the thing that actually breaks them. Because it's not just a disagreement about finances or work. It is a fundamental disagreement about the safety of their children and the validity of Steffy's trauma. Finn is completely trapped. You can see the agony on his face. He is caught in this impossible tug-of-war. On one side, he has his fierce loyalty to his wife. He loves Steffy. He truly does. I don't doubt his love for her, but on the other side, he has this primal, biological instinct drawing him to the woman who gave him life. It is a classic soap opera trope, the whole nature versus nurture debate, but it is playing out in such a devastating way right now. He feels like he is failing everyone. If he turns his back on Sheila, he feels like a bad son, especially now that she sacrificed her marriage to Deacon just to prove she is good. But if he lets Sheila in, he is failing his primary job as a husband and a father, which is to protect his family. He thought he could find a middle ground. He thought if he just asked for a strictly supervised visit, Steffy would see how reasonable he was being. But what does strictly supervised even mean with Sheila Carter? What? Is Finn going to stand there with a taser while she holds Hayes? Sheila is dangerous. She is unpredictable. Give her an inch and she will take the entire state of California. Steffy knows this. Lee Finnegan knows this. Heck, even Liam Spencer knows this. And speaking of Liam, you just know he is waiting in the wings for this exact moment. Liam has been warning Steffy about Finn's blind spot for Sheila for months. If Steffy packs up those kids and leaves the Cliff House, Liam is going to be right there saying, "I told you so," and as much as it pains me to admit it, Liam would be right. Finn is proving that he cannot be trusted to keep Sheila away. I also have to think about Lee Finnegan in all of this. Lee raised Finn. Lee protected him. Lee warned him just a few days ago to respect Steffy's boundaries and put his marriage first. She literally told him that she rejected Sheila's pleas for help, trying to set an example for him. And what does Finn do? He completely ignores the mother who raised him, the mother who saved his life, and goes to bat for the psycho who birthed him. It is a massive slap in the face to Lee, and I cannot wait to see her reaction when she finds out Finn begged Steffy on his knees for Sheila. The fans on social media are already taking sides, but honestly, it's mostly just a wave of anger directed at Finn. People are exhausted by his gullibility. We want him to be the strong, protective husband, not this whining, manipulated pawn. The writers are really pushing Finn to the edge of being unlikable. If he keeps choosing Sheila's feelings over Steffy's safety, there won't be any Team Finn left. And let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture here. We know from the spoiler chatter that Steffy and Finn have this big trip to Monaco coming up. Steffy is supposed to go for business, and Finn is supposed to follow her for a romantic getaway to escape all this corporate and family chaos. But how in the world are they going to have a romantic reset in Monaco when their marriage is currently burning to the ground in their living room? Steffy is traumatized, Finn is desperate, and we know Sheila is going to snoop on Finn's laptop, find his flight itinerary, and follow them across the Atlantic. This Cliff House fight is the match that lights the powder keg for the entire Monaco disaster. Sheila is going to crash that trip. And if Steffy is already threatening to leave LA because Finn just talked about Sheila, what is she going to do when Sheila physically shows up on the beach in Monte Carlo? It is going to be explosive, and I have this sinking feeling that Finn's actions today are going to indirectly put Steffy in mortal danger again. The rumors are saying Sheila might stage a rescue in Monaco to force Steffy to accept her. If Sheila pulls Steffy out of a crisis, Finn is going to use that as the ultimate proof that his mom is a hero. And Steffy will be trapped in a nightmare where she owes her life to her abuser. It is twisted, it is dark, and it is exactly the kind of psychological torture the show loves to put Steffy through. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. The stakes have never been higher for these two. I just keep replaying that image in my head. Finn on his knees, Steffy pulling her hands away. The sheer desperation in his voice, the absolute terror and betrayal in her eyes. It is a defining moment for their relationship. Finn crossed a line today that he can never uncross. He showed Steffy that deep down he still wants Sheila in his life. And for Steffy, that is a deal breaker. It has to be. If she gives in, she loses her sanity. If she holds her ground, she might lose her husband. It is a lose-lose situation, and Finn is the one who forced her into it. I really want to shake him. I want to yell at the screen and tell him to wake up. Sheila doesn't love him. Sheila loves the idea of him. She loves possessing him. And she is using his good heart to destroy his life from the inside out. So what happens tomorrow? Does Finn back down? Does he realize he pushed too far and try to apologize? Or does he double down? Knowing Finn lately, he might just double down. He might secretly go back to Sheila and tell her that Steffy said no, which will only enrage Sheila more. Sheila will blame Steffy. She will see Steffy as the only obstacle standing between her and her family, and we all know what Sheila does to obstacles. This is a terrifying turning point. Steffy's ultimatum is hanging in the air. Mention her again, and I leave. The ball is entirely in Finn's court now. He has to choose. His wife and the life they built, or the delusion of a happy family with a serial killer. I am exhausted just talking about it. You guys, the emotional whiplash is real. I need a nap, but I also need it to be tomorrow already so I can see the fallout. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is Steffy right to threaten to take the kids and leave? Is Finn completely out of his mind? How is this going to affect their trip to Monaco? Sound off below, and I will see you guys in the next update.